over on GCN today, there's a video where I try and ride a 10 mile, so that's 16.09 kilometer long time trial on a road bike in less than 20 minutes. Now, clearly though, this being GCN, I'm not riding an ordinary road bike. So in this video, I'm going to talk you through the exact spec and some of the reasons why I'm using it in order to try and make the most efficient, fastest aerodynamic bike possible. Now, it's important to state though that whilst a road bike could mean a lot of things to a lot of people, in the spirit of the rules, I wanted to be riding a bike that I felt I would also race in a road race. So there's no silly modifications here. It's all within the UCI rules. The only exception to that is I've taken off the water bottle cages. Now, as you can see, the chassis for this attempt is the Pinarello F12. I know, out of date. How on earth did I possibly attempt it with such old equipment? But still, there we go. Proven, tried and tested. People don't often think about the F12, I think, as an aero bike, probably because it's Pinarello's all-round road racing bike, and we're more used to seeing it triumphing on epic alpine ascents. But clearly, it is aero and it is fast. I'm using the rim brake version, not the disc brake version. Not because I think it is inherently that much faster, it's because that's what we had in my size back of base, this being Ollie's actual bike. Now, with the rim brake version, you have to route the front brake cable externally as opposed to the disc, which is fully internal. And it might sound fussy worrying about that, but even a small cylinder like that can cause a fair bit of turbulence. To try and offset it as much as possible, Ollie's actually routed the front brake from the left-hand lever. Now, for most of you, that sounds perfectly normal, but for a Brit, it's the opposite way to what we would normally run it, myself included. So that's quite a significant sacrifice on the altar of aerodynamics, but one I'm happy to make, given that I'm probably not going to be using my brakes that much this time. Now, a big part of what makes this frame set so aero is the integrated cockpit up front. It's Pinarello's own brand, Most. It's a thing of beauty, I'm not going to lie. I've got a long 120mm stem on there so I can get nice and stretched out, get that aero position, but it's only got a 38cm wide handlebar. So I get my shoulders nice and close. It's not quite a TT position, of course. It's one I'd be happy to run in a road race, but it's a little bit narrower than what I would normally choose. Now then, wheels. Showstoppers, Vision Metron 81 SLs, super deep, super aero. You don't often see wheels this deep in road races, I'll grant you, but you're allowed to. And to be fair, on a fast, flat day, they're absolutely perfect. They're a bit heavier than a shallower wheel, so you wouldn't want to climb too much on them, and they catch the wind a little bit, so in crosswinds they're not quite as stable, but in terms of speed, it's absolutely spot on. One of the most significant upgrades on this bike is the tyres. So I'm running at Pirelli P0 TT tyres, and they are super, super fast. They roll incredibly efficiently. So apparently I'm saving about 16 watts from using them over Pirelli's normally very fast road tyres. I've also got latex tubes inside, so that saves another handful of watts as well. It's an incredibly significant upgrade. The tyres themselves are actually just 23mm wide. Yeah, remember them? They still make them, of course they do. The reason I've gone for narrower tyres is because they're more aerodynamic. And at the speeds I'm going to be riding at, that offsets any kind of slight increase in roll resistance from using that narrower carcass. But a key part of the bike there. Now, the drivetrain is Shimano Dura-Ace through and through, with the exception of the Quarq chainset there, so I can use a Quarq Powermeter. Now, I've got a 53 tooth chainring on. That's super important, getting a bigger ring on there. Actually, running this one by would probably have been significantly faster, but again, in keeping with the spirit of things, whilst I would race on one by quite happily in a road race, it felt like it was taking optimizations a shade too far there. Now, one thing I would like to draw your attention to is the chain on here. It's a Dura-Ace chain, but it's been optimized by Muck-Off. So this is a service they perform for some of the best bike riders in the world, taking a load of Dura-Ace chains, testing them to find out which is the fastest, then bedding them in, then applying a super fast secret lubricant to them. And they very kindly sent me one as well. So that's another handful of watts saved as well, which is excellent. Now, at the end of my Quarq cranks, you'll notice a Wahoo Speedplay pedal there. That's one of their aerodynamic pedals, which Ollie assures me is about 4 watts faster than ordinary pedals, which again is an upgrade that I will happily make. I've enjoyed swapping over to Wahoo Speedplays this year, and using an Aero pedal is no sacrifice as far as I'm concerned. Lastly, you'll notice that I've also got a rear light fitted, which is not for improved aerodynamics. It seems like a peculiar thing to have on a bike this pared down and sleek, but it's actually a requirement from the UK's national time trial governing body. Given the roads that a lot of their races are run on, it seems like an eminently sensible addition to make. The one I've got fitted here is an exposure tracer, which will quite comfortably burn your retinas at a distance of several hundred meters. Next, what about kit? I mean, clothing is so important in this as well. And Nopinz have very kindly sent their Pro 1 Road Skinsuit, which shares almost all of the tech from their full-blown time trial skinsuits, but there's a few optimizations that mean it's suitable for road racing. Notably, got 2 rear pockets here so that you can carry your nutrition with you. That's underneath the number pocket that actually gives Nopinz its name. Nopinz. Get it? Yeah, thought so. A lot of the fabrics are exactly the same as you get in the full-blown TT skin suits. Now, they've also very kindly sent me some Aero socks, which I think I might have said years ago is not something that I would ever wear, but well, times have changed, and I actually quite like them. Yep, I do like them. I like the way they make my ankles look. If you disagree, please don't tell me in the comments, but I'm happy. I'm also using my DMT KR1 shoes. These are my favorite pair, despite the threat of rain. I'm going for white, because as we all know, that's a good 3 or 4 watt saving as well. Overshoes would undoubtedly have been faster, but again, is that in the spirit of the rules? I'm not entirely sure. Lastly, Aero road helmet. So this is the Giro Vanquish, significantly faster than an ordinary road helmet, so I'm told. It also has a visor, which I'm going for. Now, I probably wouldn't race a road race with a visor on, although you could, which is why I'm running it now. But that apparently is significantly quicker too. So there we go. Doesn't it look fast? Oh yeah. Now, I would imagine you're probably wondering, given all of these upgrades and tricks and tips, just what it feels like to ride a bike and wearing kit this fast. And truth be told, it does feel unbelievably bonkersly fast. Actually, most telling of all was when I first picked up the bike. I was wearing jeans, trainers, t-shirt, and had a massive rucksack on, and even after the first couple of pedal strokes, you could tell how quick it was. And that, I think, was all down to the tyres and the tubes. In terms of pound for pound upgrade, probably couldn't find a better one than that. Hugely significant. Also the pedals, that's a sizable performance advantage for a part that's not that expensive. And then the frame set itself, like, you could perhaps start looking on eBay now for second-hand Aero rim brake frame sets and find something that is within reach. Then lastly, the Nopinz clothing too is really sensibly priced. Now, I'd be very interested in your thoughts on this setup, so get involved in the comment section down below. And if you haven't seen the GCN video already, do go and check that one out too.